yet, so I suggested G Plazizzle in the hizzle, but I don't know if it's going to go anywhere. So yeah, the guy who wrote this is Vincent Wong. Thank you, Vincent. So yes, is this about Facebook? Perhaps a better Facebook? Kind of? Maybe? I don't think there's direct I don't think it directly is just Facebook, though. And that's kind of the big deal with this is it's not trying to just be Facebook, because there's Facebook for that. So streams, basically streams are information that you get from people in your circles. So is that just like the news feed that you get in Facebook? Is the +1 exactly like the like button? Or basically the circles. This is the big thing. Circles are not like friends. In Facebook, a friend requires you to reciprocate. You need to say that you're friends, and then you need to both agree that you're friends. Circles don't require that at all. You can block people so that they can't share with you. You can allow people to share with you, and you don't have to get that back. So you can actually hunker down and become more or less invisible if you really want to. But if you're doing that, why are you on a social network site to begin with? But you also have the ability to follow people that you find interesting. So if you like Vic and Dotra or Larry Page or the big time Google people, or if you are interested in particular Android app developers, or let's say Scott Nicholson from Board Games with Scott, it doesn't. They don't have to know you for you to follow them, and that's kind of the concept is. Except if you're doing a presentation that shows your circles, you don't need to show your circles to anyone. My newlug circle doesn't have to have the exact same number of people as anyone else's newlug circle. So theoretically, if you find a particular group of people on the mailing list really, really interesting, you can follow them. And if you find another subgroup of those people incredibly boring or annoying, you can not follow those people but still have something resembling the newlug list. So basically, Facebook is like the McDonald's of social. They are very, very massive. They're basically a mass market of social, and they are, almost annoyingly so. Not everybody loves McDonald's all the time, but it is everywhere. So I think actually that's a pretty good description. We all want to quit, but we just can't help ourselves.
It's so cheap.
Yeah, and it's available everywhere. You walk 3 steps away, and there's probably a McDonald's. You throw a rock, and you might hit a McDonald's parking lot or somebody in the drive-thru. So, what about Twitter? Does anyone in the room use Twitter? So people that don't use a lot of Twitter, basically Twitter is more or less a completely public forum that limits you to 140 characters, not necessarily including a web link. So many people will, a little bit of talking, link to this, or link to this news story. So it's a launching point for conversation, for promotion, and for everything. But the concept of Twitter is that Shaquille O'Neal has a Twitter account, and I'm really interested in what Shaquille O'Neal has to say. Shaquille O'Neal doesn't have to know me for me to listen to his tweets, or all of the people that have 3 million follow, like Justin Bieber's Twitter account. Why on earth would you care about what Justin Bieber has to say? But they have Twitter accounts. They can communicate to the world that way in a very easy fashion without having to. Basically, the only requirement of Twitter is that someone would want to listen to you. Twitter does do a little bit of tags and trends and random tweets, that sort of thing. But
and you can have it sent to your little just standard Verizon cell phone.
yeah, you can in Twitter you can change to SMS.
Right. Can you do that with Google Plus?
You know, maybe sometime. I don't know if they're doing it right now, because what they do have. By the way, taking on Twitter is like taking on MTV plus the president plus Hollywood plus Lady Gaga plus 10 million little monsters. Twitter's current tweet load is 200 million, more than 200 million tweets a day. That's a lot of freaking tweets, even if they're 140 characters or less. So, in that case, what is Google Plus about? So, Google Plus is about moving everything into the cloud. I love buzzwords. What are you talking about? So, this is Vincent Wong, the guy who wrote this presentation. Thanks again, Vincent.
Can I ask, interject something?
I put him into one of my circles because I stole this from him. So, yeah.
We were talking at one of the meetings about the cloud and putting everything, your music and so forth on there.
Yeah.
Is that going to be involved with Google Plus? Why would a social network?
It's a good question, because Google recently put out Google Music Beta, and I don't think they're currently trying to do that, but the thing about basically one of the things they were talking about, we got so caught up on this. This is the Google Plus, the circles, the hangouts, the streams, the things that we just talked about. Like, this is everything in Google Plus. Like, +1 buttons, circles, chatting, hangouts in your stream. That's Google Plus, but it's not, because we totally missed out on the fact that, for example, hold on. So, let's see where am I love multi-monitor setups. Okay, so I accidentally. So I go to Gmail because I'm still logged in, and every time I log into Gmail, I get this black bar at the top. This black bar at the top. The first thing it says is a plus sign and my name. And so the other thing that it does is it shows me this. While I'm checking my email, I see what's happening on Google Plus. So that, I think, is the bigger thing than the actual network, because, a couple people use Gmail. And this kind of automatically happens if you have a Gmail account. So, for example...
Are you following Scott?
No, I actually am not yet, but I will, because, they're great. Or Scott's cool. So yes, this is, people that +1 my stuff, people that have added me to their circles, which I am not required to do back, but I can. Usually if people add me, they often have something of interest for me to pay attention to. But anyways, not a requirement. So that's kind of one of the big things that is kind of revolutionary, is that the fact that you're already in, when you're in Gmail, you're in Google Plus, which makes it really tough to.
If you're using Google because you put your MX record to one of the Google servers, to the Google Mail server, then is that reflected in just as if you'd gone to Gmail and if you're a member of Google Plus, that's going to show up just like it would if you went directly to gmail.com?
It won't show up exactly like it, but you're a click away from it. Like, you don't have to sign into Google Plus if you're signed into Gmail. It'll just open up. And it'll remind you, hey, by the way, this stuff is happening in Google Plus. And you can ignore it. You can. But we as people are like, ooh, notification. Click. And then we find out, and then often we follow it. We don't always, but often. We're like, oh, look, there's 3 unread things. Stuff has happened.
But I mean, if you're not directly reading Gmail. You're reading, mail.datatel.com. But I'm using my MX record points to Google. I'm using their server.
Oh, you're talking about Google Apps for domains, right?
I wouldn't call it that, but maybe that's what it is.
So you're using the Google interface in your own domain?
Right?
Yeah.
I just...
I know Mike Putnam has actually been talking about that quite a bit. I don't think they have yet rolled it out, but I think they are talking about doing that. They're talking about basically rolling that out eventually, but right now it's kind of Gmail only. Although the only thing you have to do is to get a Gmail account, which is free, so it takes about as much time to set up as Google Plus. So, yeah, we totally missed that. What is this? It's everything, it's documents, it's email, it's your calendar, it's your photos, it's your RSS feed, it's the it's the things that you pay attention to. So, what that if as people get, a lot of people are in Gmail, and as more people get into Google Plus, which in 2 weeks there's already 10 million people in it, which I would say is pretty good. These things become omnipresent for you as a Google Plus user. So one of the things that's happening is people are using Google Docs to collaboratively create documentation on how to take advantage of Google Plus. And so 100 people at a time are, hacking away at this one document of tips and tricks on using Google Plus while they're using Google Plus, which is, kind of
wave-ish.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little crazy. So yeah, this is pretty much everything. So isn't G Plus about social and Facebook? Depends. What you mean? What do you mean by social? Now this is where they were talking about blue oceans and red oceans. Have you ever heard of the blue ocean strategy? I haven't, but I quickly read this presentation before attempting to give it. So red oceans have a known market space, competitors, and a fight for market share. There's a lot of cutthroat competition. It's a known space, and people are fighting about it. Blue oceans are unknown. It's things that we don't know that we need yet, more or less. And the answer might be that we don't, because that's the way that uncharted territories work. They could be incredibly valuable and useful, or they could be, let's say, pets.com or bigwords.com or any other failed web technology company. So this new market makes competition irrelevant because you create your own space. 3 weeks ago, nobody was on Google Plus, and now, Felicia Day's got 750,000 followers. That place of communicating didn't exist 3 weeks ago, but now people are using it, and people seem to like it. So yes, what are red oceans? Social, updating status, checking in, friending, following. I could read all of this, but you can read, right? Okay. So the things that Facebook is doing or has done, it's pretty good at. This part of social isn't completely Facebook either. We're talking about tweeting and retweeting, or shopping, that sort of thing, or even blogging. People do this already. Saying that you're going to make the next WordPress or make the next Blogger is tough because there's already WordPress and Blogger. So that's the trouble of jumping into a very competitive field. The blue ocean of social is the things that people hadn't really done well yet. And one of that is collaboration, sharing across apps and across platforms.
Well, that's why I keep harping on the wave. That was all about collaboration.
It was.
And that didn't work. It was a nightmare to use. I hope they learned from that. And
I think it's apparent that Google Plus is by people that did Google Wave. and by the people that did Google Buzz, because they failed at both of them. And I think they're even willing to say that at this point.
What was the other one?
Google Buzz, which was Twitter-ish,
Okay.
like follow your buzz.
Yeah.
Like I didn't do it at all because I had like I have a blog and I have email and I have Twitter and Facebook. So it was, you know, why do I need one more way to do exactly what these other things are doing? You can't. If the only thing you're doing is replacing one bit or a couple of bits of things that you already do, which is what Wave did. Wave was basically halfway between instant messaging and email. But we have instant messaging and we have email. So there wasn't really any place for it to go because you already have stuff that does that. But some of the stuff that you can, some of the collaboration, it was still, you know, some of the collaboration is still not happening. So how many people know that people that very often email photos, documents, or spreadsheets to people? That still happens a lot. Is it the best way to do it? No. By far, it's one of the worst possible ways to do it. It creates fragmentation, and it's really, really difficult for everybody to do. So how about, you know, making that better? Which is one of the things that Google has done, or is in the process of trying to do with having a social network that also is kind of dog-fooding off of existing products that are in their cloud, like Picasa for photo sharing and Google Docs for document sharing. So all of a sudden, this stuff that was there already and was pretty cool, you're coming up with, like, there's now a forum to say, I've created a document and I'd like somebody to do it at the same time with me. Well, how are we going to keep in touch? You know, this is the Microsoft Office versus SharePoint, Google Docs, Google Apps, and probably the Mac App Store versus the Chrome Web Store. So you're probably going to see Google Plus add apps in, which aren't there right now, but it makes a lot of sense for them to do so.
So the apps they're referring to are either existing Google apps or
most likely,
to be implemented.
if you were asking me to come up with what they're probably going to do, they're probably going to take their Chrome Web Store, the actual physical web apps that you can buy and sell and tell people about, and then basically, in some way, shape, or form, kind of weld it on in some way. So for example, Angry Birds is a web app that runs in Chrome,
Right.
which is a lot of fun. Currently, there's not a way to be playing Angry Birds with someone. Say, for example, you wanted to have an Angry Birds speedrun contest where everybody started at the same time, and you wanted to see who could finish first and whatever. You can't do that. But theoretically, there might be a way to like be in a hangout and play Angry Birds at the same time, and watch other people's screens so you can see they're doing awful and you're doing great, so you can trash talk them or whatever.
Right. This couldn't be an app that I was running, like one of my building information modeling apps that's not Google. I mean, it's
Probably not.
Trying to,
No. I mean, you're probably going to have to put it onto the web so that it can be shared via the web. I mean, one of the things that you can do, to conclude, collaboration and sharing, hooray, apps, browsers, mobile. One of the things I didn't talk about is that in addition to Google Plus being what we've looked at here, there's also a Google Plus mobile app that integrates completely with this entire network. So you can look at your stream or do huddles. I don't know if I talked about huddles. Basically, huddles are a group chat session, kind of like Google Wave, Lite. You can do it via text messages as well. Like if someone's not in Google Plus and you make a huddle, anyone who's not in Google Plus will receive a text message instead of using the instant messaging. So that is a way to get people that aren't in it to collaborate and talk in as close to real time as possible. Their sample application for that was trying to go to a movie or getting some food and going to a movie and having 6 people to to have to collaborate that with. And that used to be one person that made all the phone calls and was super bossy and all of that. Now you can all talk pretty much at the same time relatively easily, even if, the wait at the restaurant is 2 hours and the movie is sold out. You can still kind of get something resembling, conclusions without having to do that. So yeah, does Facebook have to worry? Well, if you have 750 million users, you could probably not worry a lot, because at the end of the day, you probably still have around 750 million users. That's a lot of freaking users. So you're talking about right here. I don't know if you can read all that. It's Facebook, Windows Live, Twitter, Gmail, Skype, LinkedIn, and Google+. Google Plus is the itty-bitty one at the end. So, there's 2 million people, 10 million people using it, which is not a small number, but 10 compared to 750 is small. It is small. So if for example, the website that you run is responsible for 8,163 copies of War and Peace in tweet form a day, you probably don't have to really, really worry. Again, there is a lot of stuff happening on Twitter, and it's not going to go away overnight. There are some people that will prefer it and continue to prefer it, even though there's something similar. Just because Pepsi exists doesn't mean that Coke has to go away. Not that you don't have to drink either Coke or Pepsi. Maybe you like water, maybe you like something else. But if you're Microsoft, I'd worry, because I think I'll just keep going because I don't want to pile on Microsoft.
You get a religious thing.
Yeah. Well, we're at a Linux users group meeting.
Yeah.
Probably not just too easy. Focus on Microsoft. The other thing is to worry about is the new Mac App Store. If you're Apple, do you worry about something like this? I'd say not as much, because Apple tends to inspire something resembling fanatical devotion in not all but many of its users, who will use Apple things because they are Apple, not because they are better. There are some people that will make cost and feature comparisons and then make the decision based on that. But a lot of people will do it because there's a fruit with the bite out of it, and not that it's bad that you choose an Apple product, because some of them are quite nice.
Very aesthetic.
Say what?
Very aesthetic.
They have a great aesthetic. There are some things that they do very, very well. So you can't pile on them too much. They've grown by leaps and bounds and made incredibly popular products for a reason. They're not evil. Well, they're not all evil people that are just coming up with ways to enslave the world. They're also making products that work pretty well and look pretty nice. So, whether or not you want to spend your money on them is up to you. So being wide open is pretty cool. G Plus is coming. Thank you. So that's basically Vincent's presentation. Thank you, Vincent.
Are you going to post that link or whatever?
Yeah, I've actually already shared it via Google Plus, and so.
Are you going to put it on the new link?
Well, actually, one of the things I can do with Google Plus is. Sorry. I don't even know where it went. I could easily share this via the newlug mailing list if people find it interesting. But the other thing I wanted to do is start a Hangout. So one of the cool things about Google Plus is this Hangouts feature. What the? Oh.
Oh, I think you had a Hangout session.
I might have had a Hangout open already, yeah. So, actually, I'll make this a public Hangout because, let's see.
Check your hair.
Whatever.
Do we need to turn on the light?
Yeah, you can turn on the light.
Turn my light on.
So, what a Hangout does. Oh, there we are. Hello. Okay. So basically, what you do is we've made a public Hangout. What we're doing is we're sharing via. Yeah, I know the mic. I'll even mute the mic. That's right.
Why is it? Is it an intelligent focus or?
My webcam is old and stupid, so there's no intelligent focus on us. There's typically what you have is you have sound and you have video.
Why is it showing?
Oh, invite people. Tim, are you on?
No, I
Okay.
Does anybody else send you it?
I didn't get it
Or
loaded
Google
yet.
Plus?
Yeah.
I could log into the thing on the computer.
Or if you want to invite, invite it right away.
Invite me. Let me join the group.
Do you have a webcam on yours?
How do I do this?
So yeah, basically what Google Hangouts are is a group video chat. So you and up to 10 others.
Okay, hang on. Okay.
Yeah. If you haven't, you might have to install the video plugin,
Do you need a?
which is what I did at the
I think
beginning.
I got Talk installed.
Oh, if you've got Talk installed, you might be able to do it.
Where do I go?
I'm in your circles, so you're in my circles, so you should probably be able to see it. Well, let's do it. Yeah, that'll work.
So are you in Google Plus now?
Can you control your circles so
Is he in
that
Google Plus?
somebody in your
Yeah,
circle?
he's in the plus. So what's up?
Join this hangout. Okay.
Can you control your circles so that somebody in your family circle doesn't send out stuff about, well, you know, we're not going to grandma's next.
No, you send it out
week
to that
because-
circle.
Well, that's kind of one of the big things about circles is when you share something, you can choose who to share it with and whether or not they can share it.
Okay, that's
And whether or not they can share it is actually a very, very new feature because people are like, well, what if I only tell some people something and then they say, hey, guess what? Oh, there we go.
Do I click circles now? I'm in the Google Plus.
So, John McMonigal.
Feedback.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, you got mic.
we've got the feedback.
Okay. I muted.
Yeah. So yeah, let's.
Better not have too
It's
many
you
mics
watching
on.
you watching you.
do you control, who controls who's up?
Focus. Well,
Are you,
typically,
did
what
you
would
log in yet?
control is the microphone.
Well, I tried to. I
The
got this
person
far.
that the
Okay.
loudest noise
Then you
is,
go
is
to
who is in
circles?
focus.
I tried to
But you
click on it,
can
nothing
choose
happens.
to at any time.
No, go up to the
You can choose to
top one right here.
select one of the other
Right
ones.
there.
Oh, that one.
So
So it would be the person who created the
There's me.
hangout that could.
And you can put me in any circle.
Everyone
or
in a
Ross,
Hangout
or
can
you can
control
put,
what they're
invite
looking
new,
at.
add new person.
Google automatically with
And you
this
can put
with this
Ross or
technology will
Ross
focus
Larson,
on the person that is talking,
and then put him. in,
or at least the one that
whatever
has
circle you want.
sound coming out of their microphone.
No, once
You
you
focus
have
the
them.
big window. And
Oh, it'll say
Save.
what circle you want them in.
So, sorry. What about the big
I'll put
window?
them in a quick.
You said
Yeah.
that it'll determine who to focus. Is
Yeah.
that you're talking which window is the big window?
Yeah, the big window is
So now
determined
if you go to
by
home-
Google or by you.
Okay. So it's kind of flop.
Yeah, it's
And
Back
you
and
go
forth
to,
discussion. That big window
settings.
is switching
Oh, I
views.
the big window will
Then you
continue
want to-
changing
I'm
unless
seeing,
unless
I'm
you
seeing
choose.
his and he's seeing mine. I mean, there's no point for you to have the focus being you.
Been you. That's
Yeah,
Although you can choose to focus on yourself.
I suppose.
You know, this is me.
Oh, that won't work. I'm
choosing to
running
focus on
my
myself.
home
Oh,
computer
so-
through Log Me
Like,
In.
obviously, it's not
so it'll
as
work.
interesting
So
necessarily
webcam won't
with
work.
just
Okay. So it won't work on this.
la 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 la. Okay. At least
So
there's
once
something
you log in,
resembling- okay.
it'll.
Now I'm going to unmute myself because now I can choose to talk. Oh, who's coming in? Hey, Tim. Hooray. Nice to see you. So, are you muted?
I'm muted.
You can turn your stuff on. We're at a new lug meeting right now, and I'm showing what the Hangouts are. Basic Hangouts. So,
Oh, is that Tim? Hey, Tim, did you invite me?
okay.
Ask him if he invited Tom Scott. 'Cause can you say something to him so he'll?
His microphone's on.
Hey, Tim, did you send me an invite, Tom Scott?
You have a Google account?
Yeah,
Gmail account?
yeah.
Okay. I need your email address.
Telecomtom@gmail.com. Telecom Tom.
I will send them to you.
Okay, I thought you already did, but that.
You know, I always think that should
So, I'm not sure if you can see me in that one, but because I'm talking now, theoretically,
Yeah.
I can hear you too.
I can actually, since we've got another one, this can actually face me.
Ross, send me an
Ross.
invite. I'll hook you
Send you an invite?
in.
Okay.
Yeah. Bradley.lawrence.bingham.
Yeah. So. Okay. Now, what was that again?
Bradley.lawrence.bingham.
I'm gonna mute myself.
Everybody's in.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about a hangout is there's up to 10 people and you can jump in or out whenever you want. So you don't have to like get everything set up and then have it happen. It's oh look, somebody shows up. So somebody's interested and they can leave or they can come back. So yeah.
So who else
So
is
how
it?
did they know you live? How do you hook in? How do you know?
Yeah. So what was the email address that I needed to get again?
Bradley.lawrence.bingham. Can you spell it?
Hey guys.
Hi.
Yo, what's up?
So who's?
Oh, the other thing we can do is chat. A chat window can happen at the same time. So now we're over here. The other thing that we can do is we can all choose to watch a YouTube movie at the same time,
Oh, that's
or not pay attention to it and still watch the people chat instead.
What about Netflix? Can y'all watch Netflix?
Netflix you can't do yet.
That would be awesome. You can have like your own theater.
Yeah, that's the idea. Any other apps?
But we thought.
At Gmail. Bradley
Yeah,
Lawrence?
yeah.
Okay.
But we thought it would be good to have like a whiteboard instead of the screen. We could do a white. They could do a whiteboard. They could.
You could easily do stuff like whiteboards and that
Or-
eventually,
Or you could like draw mustaches on people.
or you could just put your you could put your webcam in front of a whiteboard. I know what was it? One of the DHMN people. One of the DHMN people did a puppet hangout. Like everybody was using puppets instead of.
Oh,
Because,
really?
Because it's a camera. It doesn't have to be directly in front of you.
Yeah, but
It usually works the best if you're in front of it, but that's not a requirement. So LAWRENCE.
Yep. Might be complicated. Where?
Yeah. So feel free to talk or hang out or do anything.
So he has a lot of possibilities there. So see what I said about the we're doing a meeting, how it comes up.
Yeah. Nice to have the video too.
There's just one of
So like the
I'm not sure if they can hear us.
Yes, I can hear you.
You can't. You're just staring.
I'm just staring at you.
Okay.
Do I get an invite in my Gmail?
I think we're just playing with this.
You know,
Ross
why-
is up to there.
I'm getting. Oh,
He's playing.
Inviting.
Did we get everyone in?
I'm sending people invites as well. Oh,
You're sending
you
people
gotta
invites.
be kidding me! I just lost.
But-
I don't
but-
know if you lost it.
But you still can log in, or get in, because
Okay.
if you leave it doesn't matter. The thing
There's
continues.
no host. It's just
Yeah, it's like
No
if me and you
master.
are connected and everybody else leaves, me and you still can talk.
I should have just added you, so you should be
Okay.
able to do it.
There we go.
Just do yeah. So you just go back into it. But the bad thing about it,
I'm not back into it. I'm actually joining this thing. I'm joining myself. Well,
Better hang out then.
those are the other people.
what's that?
am I back in?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
The nice thing is Ross, you can leave and we still can be there in the chat. In the hangout.
See you later.
Bye.
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 Maybe send one more invite.
Yeah, sure.
Mine.
Can you send me to? Tim's just not.
I'm going to mute my video and sound so that we can only hear one set of stuff in here. Okay.
Wow, it was so meta.
I am very kind of meta-ish. Okay,
Oh,
so who am I adding now?
That's MLL
is that Matt there?
164.
Hold on.
Making those was with the Picasso.
Is that Matt I see? Hey! Hi, Mike.
Hello. Okay, MLL what now? Oh, did you see what's happening up here?
Mike's
Mike, talk again so that they can watch the windows change focus.
Gotcha.
There he is.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Worked just great. So ML what?
MLL 164. Dot Lemke LEMKE @gmail.com.
So you get more Gmail invites once you use up your 8?
Well, I have 500 invites, so I don't know if that's because I'm special or everybody gets that many,
You're special.
but yeah.
I only got 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like,
So, is it not we go up to the main display there?
Yes.
yeah, there we are. Hello.
How many max people do we have in our hangout?
I think it's 11. I think it's one person and 10 others. Or you and 10 others. Did that work?
Andrew, I'm Stephen, I'll be invaded. Enabling, I don't know if that's going to show. Nope. Oh well. The stream, now you can choose which circles of people appear, or kind of sift through the streams as you would on the web page.
Really? That's kind of cool.
Like, do they have, video input stuff? On the phone? My phone doesn't do Flash, and I believe that's how they pull it off, so maybe, but mine doesn't.
So did you get the invite? Or
Yep.
Okay. So you got the invite, you did. Okay.
Just going through the process of installing it for. I think I
So
installed
Well,
it.
you have to install the talk plugin.
I'm just in the process of doing it.
Right. Flash. Gotcha. I get to run iOS everything.
So MLL
164.
Lemke
LEMKE.
at gmail.com. And I think I have to put a name for you. Maybe that's the thing that it didn't work.
Mark.
And I'm assuming Lemke.
Yes.
Lucky.
everybody likes.
Okay, so you should be in now, or at least you should be invited.
Still downloading.
So, did anybody else want the invite?
Well,
Yeah. Okay.
me too, because I'm not getting anything from you guys.
I think I actually might have added you already.
This was
For him to add you to his circle?
yeah. I want to get on this hangout.
Are you in the?
Well, I put you in the New Lug circle, so I think you can do it now.
Okay, that's
But if not, I can go up here and try. I can invite you explicitly.
let's see. How do you get so incoming would be there are no messages.
I'll invite the Google people, sure. I'm pretty sure that they won't come.
It'd be kind of cool if they did.
No,
Like all of a sudden, hey Vic, how you doing?
right.
I give up on C++ for a while.
I can. So, yeah.
I think we're straining their access point.
Well, that's probably what it is.
You plug in. 2 minutes to plug in.
So what access point are you using? Use anything but 3.
Oh, I don't know.
Anything but 3. You like to do something.
I probably don't know.
I think 4 was the strongest signal earlier.
3 was the strongest.
But it doesn't. It's doesn't.
Well, it just says it's the strongest.
I'll
I'd say it's better.
I got that.
Okay.
I think Google's having problems.
They held that.
I'm running mine through LogMeIn from at home, and it's really, really bad here. I'm trying to just upload a picture of myself, and it's taking a long time to just upload a single photo.
Or maybe it's our bandwidth.
No, I mean, I'm plenty fast going in and out of the building here. I'm doing other things. My email's popping in and out and stuff like that. But from home, I'm doing this upload from home, and I've got 6 megabytes, download speed, and I've got 3 megabytes upload speed at home, and it's jamming up at home.
Oh,
What's your kid doing?
Google, huh?
What's your kid doing at home right now?
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
Somebody's using it for search. I found that one time. You wonder why the computer was so slow?
Wow, we must be getting super, like, you see how slow mine is right now?
Had like all kinds of.
Darn, I sure brought my open range.
oh the nice thing.
Wireless.
So I sent you an invite, so you should be able to.
When did you send it?
Like 5 seconds ago. I can't believe you haven't gotten it yet.
Really?
That's fast.
Okay.
And the nice thing about it, if you click on the picture, if you click on any of the pictures, they're the main focus.
Yeah, right. Yeah, at any time you can choose to focus on someone on purpose, or you can let Google decide for you. Back and forth, which is kind of funny when people don't wear headsets, because every once in a while you'll get feedback on somebody's laptop, and then it'll just show them, even if they're not talking at all, because the microphone says that they're the one that you're supposed to pay attention to. So yeah.
And then you click on them again, and then they're unfocused.
So I think you added me now.
I did.
So
I would have thought from here I could have joined this hangout. I can't figure it out.
I don't know if you can. Hey, Bradson.
Yo.
I don't see me though.
I think you're this one. Do you have a cam?
Oh, it's coming.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just. Where does it? I'm just.
So you click on
Where did you get to where you need
to do the join.
When I installed it,
Where it just says learn more about Google Plus.
Yeah, I think so.
How do you get
Is that it? Just click there?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, he says no. No. Okay, so
I
where do
went to my
Yeah,
plus,
yes,
and
click on there.
then I.
Okay, well, I had one earlier. Let me go back here to
And I
Tim.
Yeah, it's not available on my device.
No, I dragged them into the
Is
source.
this?
Damn you have when you're
refusing to
Yes,
That's
would this
probably
be it?
what
Or
it was.
this would be the one from Tim?
Yeah,
Well, I don't think there's a native iPhone app.
And we should be able to see yourself. Do you see yourself on it, or
No. I don't even
you should see yourself so that your camera's not?
I think you're right. I didn't know if it was just me because I don't have a phone or I don't have a front-facing camera, so I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I don't have one either, but you still would think they'd let you use your other camera.
Yeah, but it would be a little bit harder.
Well, that you gotta be full of yourself. Like they all want to see me, but I'm not going to look at.
Well, I think what I have to do is log out.
Pretty full of yourself.
I think the talk settings are in Gmail someplace.
Are they?
Yeah, they're buried. I think
You're
it's
talking
been a
about
couple
the,
months since I found them, but
You're talking about the settings for the actual app, or
for the the audio and video settings and stuff.
right before you join a Hangout, it allows you to. There's a icon.
So
Oh,
now
actually,
I
even
log
right
in
here.
now
So
I can
right
go
here,
plus-
this
Oh,
icon
it's
is
on
yours. So theoretically, if you've got something that's not working, those are the settings that you're talking about.
Okay.
No, just give it the whole thing.
Oh, good.
And
I can see
we can
me.
watch.
Look at that.
It's curse you, poor quality webcam.
Because I know I did it a while back, but I've got to work with my Bluetooth headset through Google Talk. Okay.
See,
It's
I
been
had
several
just had
months
to
since I did
log
it,
out
so
of
I remember how to do
Beta
it.
Tell because that goes to the Gmail servers.
Okay, yeah.
So that just so now they should. That's a bug.
We gotta get
I should
going.
still be able to read it.
Take care.
Yeah.
We'll see ya.
Nice to see you.
Yep.
So it's a chat.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Does anyone want books?
Let's see. First thing.
Maybe I should.
On.
Okay, good stuff we have.
Google may use my.
Oh, network failure for media packets.
Well, I don't know.
What the?
Yeah, I think we're stressing their.
Reason code 23.
No, actually, something with Google because I'm operating from home and this is really, really bad at home.
It could be that there's a lot of people hanging
Okay,
out.
so how do I get it? How do I get onto that chat?
Okay. I should have invited you.
Go to
Hangouts? No, I don't want to
So
start.
we have to get into.
no.
I'm logged.
Go into the circle here.
Circles? Where are circles?
Right.
Oh, those things.
So, you see Ross in there?
Ross.
And
I'll just scroll down.
I should have also just invited Newlug again, and I'm pretty sure I've
There
been
is.
using Newlug.
So click on
Just,
this.
just doing acquaintances or friends or wherever you want to take him. Click on it.
Well, something showed up.
Okay.
Mark.
Hello, Mark.
Sure.
Whoa,
Oh,
collection.
okay.
Yeah, that's
Okay, now you go
That's pretty awesome.
I'm going to mute myself here. I think we got too many mics in the room.
Oh, that's all.
Now you go to friends. Now he's in your friends stream. So basically, like if it's, you only communicate with Ross now.
But now I click on this live thing.
Yeah, join live hangout.
Where?
oh.
I'll join this. So
While we're doing
he's
this, I
got,
can
why,
actually-
why are there two of these things?
I don't know why. Oh, because
There's a whole
maybe
bunch
he
of them.
quit. And that's probably why.
So yeah.
Okay.
So going back to Google Plus, because everybody's in the Hangout now. One thing I didn't talk about was Sparks. Sparks is kind of interesting. Basically, you can click on. Well, you indicate your own Sparks. Basically, it's kind of like a web filtering agent for things that you find interesting, without having to be curated by specifically a different person. So say for example you're interested in WebOS, or the MetaWatch project. Basically, it will give you news about what you've said that you're interested in, without you having to kind of go and do it yourself.
Kind of Google Alerts.
A little bit, kind of like that.
Then do I have to go to?
It's still new, so I wouldn't say it's a finely polished tool yet, but I'd say it's pretty good. The other thing is now via Google Plus, people can see what you're interested in and decide to be interested in you because of that. But I think you have to share what you're interested in. I don't think it's explicitly done.
Over here.
That's good.
Yeah, so you don't have to put man plus donkey and have it all of a sudden everywhere. Theoretically, I think you can follow that on your own on the down low if you really want to.
Okay.
But yeah, and the other thing is, I'd like for them to have more
We already
granular
had,
control over the sparks. Because, for example, I like the MetaWatch project, which is pretty cool. It's open-ish wrist-based computing device that interacts with smart things like Android, iPhone, and WebOS. And theoretically, it's really awesome. Like it'll show you text messages, caller ID, the currently playing song on your device, stuff like that. But it's still vaporware. Like it was supposed to come out July 1st, and they just delayed it until August 22nd. So I mean, it's not delayed until like 2014, but it was delayed. And I don't like delays. Anyways, apparently there's a website called The MetaWatch, which has absolutely nothing to do with the MetaWatch project. Like MetaWatch is actually metawatch.org or something like that. And so Sparks keeps on giving me this stupid website, even though I have no interest in it. The other thing about it is it's a way for you to get stuff to share easily. Because if you want to tell other people about the MetaWatch project, or I'll do that right now. If you want to tell people,
And then here.
so if I want to tell everyone, that, I just did. So everyone that's everyone.
Mine.
Yeah.
Well, I muted mine.
Hello. This is actually right here.
Maybe I should.
Yeah, it's a little bit. It's a lucid dream via the hang-up. So now you see.
Once you turn yours back on.
Okay. I just wanted to see if it'll put me in focus.
Mark, your camera's
Still not doing that? Hello?
Maybe on his.
No, I don't see. Okay, I've got my deal on your mic. Your mic should be here making noise here when this is. You must have your volume down. Your volume must be down. Your microphone volume must be down.
But yeah, so
Well, the mic, this is my speaker.
Are we still
Speaker,
filming?
but the mic volume must
Yeah.
be down.
okay.
Done or?
Does anyone have any other questions? In conclusion,
It's not working with hardware muted.
I just have a
Okay,
statement.
well, look at. is
Okay,
you have a
statement
volume
away.
I'm a little
control,
bit-
like a mixer
well, I'm-
control,
Well,
Very
this,
leery
of
of cloud.
wherever it is.
And the reason
Okay,
is
so one,
right
two.
there.
Ownership of
Let's see if
information.
there's.
It's not muted.
No,
I'm with
that's
you.
something different. You got to get
Well,
into the.
Like I was
think-
reading an
Grab a
article
mixer.
from Raytheon.
No, no,
Okay,
you
so
don't
Where's
have to
the,
go.
where's the
I
machine?
don't
you know,
know.
from a business
Some
perspective,
preferences try that.
corporate perspective, it's very, very risky.
Okay.
You know, because it's hackable, and it's a centralized place
Okay.
rather
Bring
than
it
a
up.
distributed place where information can be. So it's really, in my opinion, risky
Okay.
for
Well,
very many reasons.
I'm with you there. Like,
Okay.
for
See what
example,
other-
you're a C-level executive
still
at a
not seeing
technology
anything.
firm. Your little black book
It's not muted.
is worth something.
Looks correct.
It's worth a non-zero amount. The people that you know that you're able to contact
Well, let me
is
just give
worth
you-
something.
let me
And
give you one
and
thing
the
that
things
hap-
that you talk about.
let me give you one
If that
thing happened.
suddenly
Yeah.
and unintentionally becomes public, that's a loss of not only competitive advantage but money for you.
Right.
And so I can see that being something that you'd be a little bit
Not just
leery of.
me, I think the whole
No,
world.
you meaning everyone.
Yeah.
That we as people can be leery.
The other thing I'm going to say is there was an app that made it so my Droid synced up with my Apple, started my music and iTunes and stuff. But the problem is it used the cloud, and I'm like,
Remote mute.
I'm not sure about this because
When
I
the
know.
devices are 3 feet apart, why do you need to go to a server someplace else in order to do it?
yeah, that's the one thing. But I don't have a problem using the cloud to
Okay,
do that,
here's a-
except
Are you hearing
they would
me?
know all my music.
No.
And it's like if I have some music that I downloaded illegally, but I didn't know it,
Richmond
because
server
I'm trying
was
to
lost
weed
in
all that
meetings
out.
for
Or
Ross.
music that is
They
illegal
would
by its
certainly
very
know that.
nature,
You
like
know,
what is it,
that-
girl talk?
by the
Have you
signature.
ever heard of
What?
girl talk?
What?
Like Girl Talk is a guy it's a guy who samples music illegally in order to make music.
Oh, okay.
So the existence of his music is illegal.
Right.
Like he has created a work in which he is not paying royalties to the people that he's deriving from.
Right.
So the existence of his music is illegal.
Yeah, see, that's what worries me, is if I put that on the cloud, God and everybody else knows it's there, you know?
Right.
So it's like a risk.
Well,
How do I know
the question is
safe?
really,
How do I know?
Google claims that they don't want to be evil, right?
Well, of
Facebook
course,
has
but
made no such.
What happens when they get purchased by somebody else?
Well, and I would think Google's not going to get purchased by anybody. But if you're talking social is in and of itself a series of trade-offs and compromises.
Mm-hmm.
You can choose to be completely separate and completely disconnected from everyone if you wish, or you can choose to become more connected. But becoming more connected has caveats and trade-offs. As far in the very limited history of Google Plus, I think that Google has been doing a lot better job of listening to people who say, I don't. Well, one of the things that came up, the creator of XKCD was talking about the fact that as public information, your name and your gender were automatically made publicly available when Google Plus was announced and brought out. I think his name's Randall. He said in general, why do you have to publicly display gender? You know, and his argument was, I mean, Google Plus is a sausage fest already. You know, there are very few women percentage-wise participating in this social network.
So if you want to really have
Why make them personally identify that and broadcast it to the entire world? And the other thing was other. It allowed you to do male, female, or other. And it talked about like, yeah, you can choose other, but there is a relatively significant group of people who actually their closest identification of gender is other. And so by simply taking that as either a man or a woman and saying other because you don't want to say, take something from those people that actually self-identify as other in this particular case. So he made the argument, can't you just not share? And Google Plus's response, I think today or yesterday, was, yeah, okay, you don't have to share that anymore. And I think it'll default to displaying a gender still, I think. But you can choose not to, and they've now started to programmatically indicate that. And very, very similarly, they added the feature of when you share something, you want the ability to say, and other people can't share it as well. And that is now an option. You can still use, select Control-C and Control-V, but, if your circles don't contain trust to begin with, there is very little that software can do that will re-implement trust for you. So there's a certain amount of trust that you put in the people that you choose to associate with.
Actually, not too much trust with them, so I know them. I'm thinking more like Google. Maybe I trust them today, but everybody knows every corporation goes a different direction after a period of time. So
you're saying, what if Sergey and Larry die and their "Don't Be Evil" motto is
taken over?
Is still on the wall but not paid attention to?
Precisely, yeah.
The core business is data mining.
Yeah,
I seem to have lost the.
And so
there's actually a short story about that. Cory Doctorow wrote a short story called "Scroogled." About the concept was, what if Google turned evil? It was an interesting kind of thing, because it was, what if Google took all of your search data and your metadata, and actually search data was found to be illegal in this theoretical situation. So what they gave was the ads. They gave the targeted advertisements, but not the search history. So what they gave is the targeted advertisements from your search history directly to the government, and so basically you were Googled as well as that metadata was provided at the border, and then you would need to, in addition to what was on you and on your person, any activity that was able to be found on the first 5 pages of the